Professor Ziltrath's 17 eyestalks swept across the lecture hall, observing the 200 cadets from 43 different species. The Galactic Naval Academy's introductory xenobiology course was always his favorite to teach. So many young minds, so much to learn about the dangers lurking in the cosmos. Today, his translator box chimed in melodious tones. We discuss the most dangerous classification in known space, Deathworlders. A ripple of nervous chittering spread through the assembled students. Even the Kravathi warriors, known for their fearlessness, shifted uncomfortably in their reinforced seats. Ziltrath activated the holographic display. A rotating planet appeared, its surface a violent swirl of blue and green, with massive white storms visible even from orbit. Deathworlds are planets that, by all logical standards, should not harbor complex life. Yet they do. And the creatures that evolve on such worlds? He paused for effect. They are monsters. A Centauri student raised her crystalline hand. Professor, surely that's an exaggeration? Is it? Ziltrath's eyestalks focused on her. Let me present the criteria. A deathworld typically has gravity exceeding 1.5 standard, crushing to most species. Atmospheric pressure that would rupture delicate tissues. Extreme temperature variations. Predators at every level of the food chain. Microscopic organisms evolved specifically to invade and consume other life forms. He brought up a new image, a classification chart. There are currently 7 confirmed deathworlds in our database. The inhabitants of these worlds are categorized as Class 10 biological hazards. They are forbidden from military service in most civilized systems, not because they are incompetent, but because they are too dangerous. In the back row, Cadet Marcus Chen slouched lower in his seat, his standard-issue academy jacket pulled tight. He'd known this lecture was coming. He'd hoped to avoid it. Let me give you an example, Ziltrath continued, warming to his subject. Deathworlders possess redundant organ systems, their bodies assume damage and compensate. They heal at rates we consider impossible. Their skeletal structures can withstand impacts that would liquefy most of us. A Vexian student's membranes paled. How do we defend against such creatures? You don't, Ziltrath said flatly. You avoid them. You negotiate. You never, ever provoke them. A Deathworlder's flight or fight response is heavily weighted toward fight. They produce combat stimulants naturally, adrenaline, cortisol, chemicals that turn them into living weapons when threatened. Marcus felt his face heating up. Around him, students were glancing nervously at each other, as if a Deathworlder might suddenly appear among them. Their pain tolerance is remarkable, the professor continued. What would incapacitate a Centauri or kill a Threxian, a Deathworlder might classify as annoying. There are documented cases of these beings continuing to fight with what should be mortal wounds. Professor, a brave Quillan chirped from the middle rows, are there any Deathworlders in the academy? The lecture hall went silent. Ziltrath's eyestalks contracted thoughtfully. The academy admits qualified candidates from all recognized species. However, Deathworlders are rare. In my 40 cycles of teaching, I have encountered only 3. What happened to them? Someone asked. One became a decorated admiral. One leads a first contact diplomatic team, her mere presence ensures negotiations remain civil. The third, Ziltrath's voice took on a tone of respect, runs the Academy's advanced combat training program. No one has defeated her in 17 years. Marcus couldn't take it anymore. He stood up, his chair scraping loudly in the silent hall. 200 alien faces turned to stare at him. Professor, Marcus said, his voice steady despite his embarrassment, with respect, you're scaring these cadets unnecessarily. Ziltrath's eyestalks swiveled to focus on the human. There was a long, uncomfortable pause as various species of alien students suddenly realized who and what had been sitting among them for the past 3 months. Cadet Chen, Ziltrath said slowly. Perhaps you would like to provide a counterpoint to my lecture? Marcus walked down the steps toward the podium, aware of students shrinking away as he passed. A Felician cadet actually hissed in fear. You're not wrong, Professor, Marcus said, reaching the front. Earth is classified as a Class 9 death world. I've read the files. Gravity is 1.8 times standard. We have superstorms that can level cities. Earthquakes, volcanoes, predators that can kill us despite millions of years of evolution. He turned to face the class. But you're missing the point. We didn't become dangerous because of our world. We became dangerous because we learned to survive it. Together. Ziltratha's eye stalks angled curiously. Explain. Humans are persistence hunters, Marcus said. We're not the fastest, not the strongest, not the most venomous. But we don't give up. We track prey for days. We outlast them. And more importantly, we do it as a team. He gestured to the assembled cadets. Every species here has something that makes them special. Centauri can process information at speeds we can't match. Vexians can survive in environments that would freeze us solid. Kravathi have tactical instincts hardwired into their genetics. Marcus pulled off his jacket, revealing the standard cadet uniform underneath, identical to everyone else's. Yes, I can survive injuries that might kill some of you. Yes, my world made me tough. But I'm not here to be a weapon. I'm here to learn from you, and hopefully, teach you something too. A small Quillen in the front row raised a tentacle hesitantly. Like what? Marcus smiled. Like how to be stubborn. How to face impossible odds and keep going. How to protect the people you care about, even when every logical instinct says to run. He looked back at Ziltrath. You called us monsters, Professor. But humanity spent 50,000 years turning a death world into a home. We didn't conquer Earth, we partnered with it. We learned to respect what could kill us and adapt to it. Ziltrath was quiet for a moment, his eye stalks weaving in a pattern Marcus had learned meant deep consideration. Cadet Chen makes an excellent point, the professor finally said. Deathworlders are not monsters. They are survivors. And survival instincts, properly channeled, make for excellent officers. He gestured to Marcus. Since you're already here, perhaps you could assist with the practical demonstration I had planned? Marcus raised an eyebrow. What kind of demonstration? Ziltratha's translator box made a sound that might have been laughter. The emergency pressure simulation. I was going to run it at 1.5 standard gravity. But since we have a volunteer. Let me guess, Marcus said dryly. You want to crank it up to Earth normal? If you don't mind. Marcus rolled his shoulders and walked toward the simulation chamber. Behind him, he could hear excited whispers among the cadets, fear transforming into curiosity. One thing, Professor, Marcus called back. After this, maybe we could talk about what humans learned from Deathworld evolution that's actually useful to everyone? Such as medicine, engineering, crisis management. We got really good at fixing things that break, including ourselves. Ziltratha's eye stalks rippled in what Marcus had learned was an approving gesture. An excellent topic for next week's lecture. Class, I suggest you all attend. It seems we have much to learn from our Deathworlder colleague. As Marcus entered the simulation chamber and the gravity plating activated, he heard something that made him smile, not nervous chittering, but genuine applause from 200 cadets who were no longer seeing a monster, but a classmate. Deathworlders weren't scary, he'd learned. What was scary was ignorance. And that, at least, was something any species could overcome.